Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and we all know the Switch 2 dock. You know, sometimes it even comes with a backplate. I've plugged the damn thing so many times it's never worth it. It's simple, elegant, it works, and most importantly, it comes with the console as standard. Valve. But I'd be lying if I said I thought it was perfect, because you know, you gotta get it like over this big lid. It's not a big deal, but if you're trying to get it in a small space or something, it's a little bit awkward, like in a TV unit or something. Also, it's not very small, like it's not massive, but it's quite deep, you know, and it's all sort of, it's okay. It serves its purpose very, very well, I think, but it's not perfect, is it? Thankfully, there are plenty of alternatives made by third parties out there, and unlike with the Switch 1, where there was a lot of, like, major fear about third-party docks, and it turned out that, interesting, it wasn't the dock, it was the power supply that came with one of them. It wasn't the dock. At least that's what I've heard. But things seem to be a lot more reliable this time around, and so we're gonna take a look at two of them today. It was gonna be three, but it didn't work out. One of them is super small, portable, travel-friendly, and just straightforward. And the other one looks like a piranha plant. But anyway, that's more than enough waffling. Let's dive right into things. So let's start off with the small, sensible option, because it's smaller and far more sensible. This is the Covert Dock 3 by Genki. Genki make all sorts of things, but the Covert Dock is kind of the thing they're maybe most famous for. It's either that or the Shadowcast, and I have opinions about the Shadowcast 3. If you go up to 1440p, it's absolutely fine. As soon as you get to 4K, the color is terrible. Don't use it. But the Covert Dock 3 is exactly what you would expect it to be. It's very similar to the Covert Dock 2, but this one, it's Switch 2 compatible. I think it can do higher resolutions still. Not that you can, you know, achieve that with the Switch 2, so I haven't tested it. As standard, it looks like this. It's even smaller, you know, the US style plug that folds away and stuff like that, which is very simple, small, easy to transport, and yes, you know, it's definitely more straightforward than the great big Chungus UK one, but frankly, I wouldn't trade this for anything. This is the best plug. I know I am not alone in that opinion. As you might expect, the way that it works is a little bit different to just your standard Switch dock, because there's nowhere for the Switch to go in. It doesn't work. Instead, you need to use an appropriately powerful USB-C to C cable, which thankfully it comes with, because otherwise that would be really, really rubbish. One end in the dock, the other end in the bottom of your Switch, and it is as simple as that. Once if it's actually plugged into the wall, it ain't gonna turn on now, because it's not magic. You've got HDMI out on this thing as well, plug it into a monitor or a TV, and you're away. It is all contained in this tiny little thing, and even though I haven't done any major traveling yet with this thing, you know, if I need to go anywhere, which I will be going somewhere, I'm going to be taking this. You know, I'm not going to be taking the full dock because it's just too blinking big. The whole point of this is that it is small and it is portable and it's good at its job. I've been using it not quite daily, but whenever I need to do capture up here, even though I've got another dock, you know, as I say, I've been unplugging and plugging that thing in God knows how many times, switching between Switch 1 and Switch 2 and all that sort of thing. I tend to just leave this plugged in. It just kind of works, and it's never really capturing for very long up here because, you know, I'm standing up, you know, I've got a standing desk. I think some people don't realize that I stand in these videos. Watch this. The output is reliable. It's unremarkable, really. It's unremarkable how much it just works, and it's, you know, supports HDR, it supports, you know, 4K 60, 120 hertz, you know, 1080p, all that sort of thing. Basically, it's kind of a drop-in replacement for the Switch 2 official dock. It does everything. It technically does more, but I haven't tested it because I couldn't give a monkeys. The only thing I will say, though, is that your Switch, what do you do with it then? Do you put it flat on a surface? I mean, I really wouldn't recommend that. You know, it's got vents and stuff, and whilst you probably wouldn't block them, you know, it's not really designed to be used in that way. So what I tend to do is I just flip the stand around like that, and then it rests like that, and then you go, it rests on that bit as well. You use the right angle bit. It's like they thought of it, and that's how I tend to use it. And you know what? I haven't had a single issue. It's been great, honestly. Like, really great. And it's also only 70 quid. It was 60 quid, now it's 70. I've literally just checked it because I couldn't remember for certain. I know it was 60 before because I went on the website just now, and before it loaded fully, it came up with $59.99, and then it navigated me away. I went to it again, and it said $69.99. It's also this many dollars. Unfortunately, I think it's the same number of dollars, which is ridiculous. But when you consider that it is a fraction of the size of the official one, and cheaper still, the official set is like £93, you know, it's kind of a no-brainer. Yes, it's not quite as elegant, it's not quite as just chunk and sort of satisfying, you've got to do cables and things. But you know what? For a portable second one, absolutely smashes it. Piranha Plant. This is the Piranha Plant Dock 2 by Powkong, and as you can imagine, this isn't portable. It's not. It's going for style points, and frankly, what style points? I mean, this thing looks... I mean, it looks ridiculous, but I mean, come on. This is easily like the most fun dock I've ever seen for Switch, Switch 2, anything like that. It does all the things you would expect it to. You know, it does 4K 60. Actually, I haven't tested 1080p 120. I suppose I'll test that. It's got all the ports you would expect. It doesn't come with any accessories, no HDMI cable, no power supply or anything like that. So you're definitely getting less than you do. Well, you're getting fewer items than you are with the Covert Dock 3. But in terms of sheer mass, I think you're getting more. Just a hunch. As you've no doubt worked out already, your Switch goes in the top here. And it's okay. I mean, it's quite rattly, I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna want a screen protector on there, but yeah, you're gonna want a screen protector on there. Frankly, you should have a screen protector on all your devices anyway. And when the console's on, there's like lights in here, so the spots all light up so you know it's on. There's another thing that lets you know that it's on, which I'll explain in a moment. But then you've also got these little charge-a-majigs here. Not just for show, because I've already told you what they do. They charge. You take a Joy-Con, you slip it in there. You take another Joy-Con, you slip it in there. And the magnets aren't super strong, but they're more than strong enough. So you get these, you know, you get, it's like leaves. Isn't it stupid, but also wonderful? As I said before, this is going for nothing but style points, because practically, I mean, come on, it's too big, isn't it? It's too big. You need to have a large space to make this make sense. And also, even though the base is weighted, the base is, you know, reasonably weighted, you know, it's still not, I don't feel super secure having my Switch 2 in there. You know, all it takes, especially if you got like children or a cat or another animal, all it takes is for one pass and it's gonna go over. I mean, maybe not. As I say, there is a reasonable weight to the base. I'll show how much it weighs on screen now. And, you know, it'll probably be all right. But I'm not entirely comfortable with probably. And the thing is you can make the same argument about the standard Switch, though. You know, it could just fall over. It's less likely to, but it could just fall over. The thing is that when the Switch 1 dock falls over, it falls over like that. When this falls over, but there's another thing about this that gives me pause, and that is the fact that it's loud. It is loud. There's a fan in here. There's a fan in the official dock as well, but you'd never know because it's so blinking quiet. This one isn't. I need to go over to decibel, Alex, to explain. Okay, so background noise, looking at a baseline of about 42 decibels. No idea how accurate this is necessarily, but it gives an indicator. Obviously, my voice is doing a lot. But let's turn the dock on now. You see, that's not insignificant. You can no doubt hear it. It's blinking loud. Honestly, if you're playing a game like Star Fox or something, anything where there's action going on and, you know, reasonably loud noises, you're not gonna hear it. But if you're playing a quieter game, or if you've got the volume down because you don't want to disturb other people, and you don't want to use headphones for some reason, this is irritatingly audible. It is presumably a cheap fan in here, just designed to do nothing more than keep the thing cool. And I appreciate that there's a fan in here. I just wish it wasn't so blinking loud. And as you might have already feared, it's not super cheap either. This is £80, which, I mean, you know, it's still cheaper than an official dock, but, you know, oh, by the way, these are posable as well. It's fun. But it really is style over, not even style over substance, it's style over practicality. If you've got the space for this, I mean, it's a centerpiece, isn't it? It's a talking point. It's like, what's that? It's a Switch 2 dock. Now that, you know, that's got to count for something, hasn't it? And that's what they're riding on. It's just a shame that, I mean, also, the plastic's pretty cheap and nasty up here. It's all right on the stem, and even, oh no, it's pretty cheap and nasty all over the whole head. But you've got to have some very specific circumstances in order to look at this and go, that's the dock for me. And there you have it. Two very distinct different kinds of third-party Switch 2 docks. Which do you prefer? I mean, practically and aesthetically, I think we're all going to reach the same conclusion. But why not? Why not surprise me with a comment which is the complete opposite of what you actually think in the comment section down below? Do it. Do it, you coward. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you cram that subscribe button in your mouth and see whether you are a compatible dock for the subscribe button. And be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.